Hola, Carlos.
Yes.
You,
Good
you
morning.
said it.
Yes,
You said it.
It was me who said that. Yes, it was me.
It wasn't Jinx the cat?
No.
Oh.
It wasn't Jinxing the cat. I'll tear those Mises to pieces.
It's true what she just said. Like it's just sentencing a lot of poor women to die. I mean,
and I hate to be so callous, but we've been fortunate enough to make a good enough living where our daughters probably will not have a problem should they have to make that decision. I have stated publicly that many years ago I had somebody in Europe that was able to get the procedure safely without judgment. It's shocking to me how Fast Times at Ridgemont High, in 1980, handled the subject so wonderfully, where Judge Reinhold has to take his sister, Jennifer Jason Leigh, because she basically got date raped in the pool shack, and she had to make a decision, and he does it. There you go. It's taken care of because she was poor. She needed to have help with making that decision. So, again, all of this starts at men wearing contraceptives. We have the bullets. If we're seriously talking about eliminating unwanted pregnancies, then we need to get more serious on pitting the blame on men and punishing them as well. Yeah. So, like, if you want to make a woman have a baby, find out who the date rapist is, Uncle Joey, and make Uncle Joey pay child support.
Yeah. And by the way, how many times can we say, Jesus didn't mention abortion? And as I think John Fugelsang has told us a million times, I don't think it's mentioned in the Bible except like how to have an abortion, as I recall. Yes. I forget which passage that is. In what's what context that is, but here we go again. Marjorie Taylor Greene lashed out at Senator Warnock, who is a pastor, right?
Yeah.
He said, as a pro-choice pastor, I've always believed a patient's room is way too small for a woman, her doctor, and the United States government. I'll always fight to protect a woman's right to choose, and that will never change. She said, there's no pastor ordained by God that would support killing God's creation in the womb. You're a liar and a fraud and a wolf in sheep's clothing. Shame on you. She then later posted an image from an anti-abortion rally and with the caption, "Our God is bigger."
Yeah.
Right. And Joe Walsh, former congressman, who, I tweeted to me, and I tweeted back at him yesterday. He said this is exactly what an unserious person with an unexamined faith would tweet. And someone else tweeted, your Christo-fascist movement is tiny but violent. And then another one said, stop fat-shaming Donald Trump. That's funny. Our God is bigger than yours. Get it? That means...
Yeah. God's life is so precious, I'm going to give you a roofie so I can squirt it into you.
And then someone a little spicier said, every single one of you Bible-thumping psychopaths, Jesus don't claim you. You literally be the ones who hung him on the cross.
That's an alpha liberal.
Yes. But again, we weigh our morality against the backdrop of mythology written 2,000 years ago. And even in that mythology, they do not mention, as you say, abortion. So we're trying to progress, as Joseph Campbell said, we're trying to change the software. We know more. If you don't want to get unwanted pregnancies, you support contraception, you support, as we've talked about, gay marriage, zero unwanted pregnancies since forever. You support those things that'll prevent the man from dispersing those bullets into said occupied womb, to talk like raised in Arizona.
Yeah.
Because some women's wombs are not a rocky place where men's seeds could find no purchase. They can.
Yeah. Oh, hey, could you take your organ out for me? Speaking
right away, Ms. Miller.
of Bible stuff, Alito cited an excerpt in his opinion which mentioned 17th century Judge Sir Matthew Hale, as he sought to make the case that justices misinterpreted history in their Roe v. Wade decision. While many anti-abortion activists debate personhood, most seem to agree that a woman shouldn't be forced to carry a dead fetus that could ultimately kill her. Miscarriages are obviously exceedingly common. Hale also ensured women were executed for being witches. So that's who he was citing, was the judge that burned women at the stake, right, and forced them to keep miscarriages. Okay, yes, go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I just don't understand how women are voluntarily complicit in a religion that makes them second tier. And that, in my opinion, is where all this is rooted. If we at first don't accept the premise that God in some religions is a man and the messiahs in many major religions are men, if we reject that premise, it makes it easier for us to say that women are equal to us and therefore should have equal rights, especially when it comes to their bodily decisions.
Yeah.
So I blame religion.
Yep.
It is the premise by which we accept that women are second tier.
Yep. Senator Warren, who just is at just the level of nail spitting that we want this morning.
They have been out there plotting, carefully cultivating these Supreme Court justices so they could have a majority on the bench who would accomplish something that the majority of Americans do not want. 69% of people across this country,
It's almost 70.
Yeah, I've
across
heard.
this country, red states and blue states, old people and young people want Roe versus Wade to maintain
We don't
as
want to
the law
dismember
of the
children in
land.
the womb, ma'am.
We need to do
No,
that.
we're not
and
going
we
to
have
stand
a right.
dismembering 3,000 children
We've heard
in the
enough
womb
from
every
the
single day.
extremists.
God bless her, man, for being out there in the middle of the fray,
she's
right?
great.
Yeah. One more. Elizabeth Warren yesterday.
Well, I am here because I am angry, and I am here because the United States Congress can change all of this.
Sue in Rockville. Hey, Sue, you're on with Carlos. Go ahead.
Hi, good morning. I am doing some bulleting this morning.
Okay.
Because yes, they are trying to distract by focusing on who leaked the rumor rather than the heinous, horrible ruling that is going to just lead the way to destroying all privacy rights. But there's a group of right-wing writers who are trying to cleanse the disgusting, violent history of anti-choice zealots, and saying that they peacefully, this is what they've done over 50 years, is peacefully assemble at the grassroots level, all garbage. And so I would just like to remind a domestic white terrorist bombed the Olympics Park, killed 2, injured over 100, and is currently rotting in jail for the rest of his life because he was a virulent anti-choice zealot and anti-gay nutcase.
Yeah.
Which makes no
And
sense.
since my daughter was in the park when it was bombed, I have a very personal stake in never forgetting what people like that did. Doctors were murdered. Women have been terrorized for 50 years instead of being able to just exercise their choice. So do not let them rewrite their history. Do not let them distract.
Yeah. Well,
And that's
Years ago-
Mima's, I think, Steph, I think I'm going to start a Mima rant of the day. I'm so
yeah, I hear you. No, I hear you. Listen, if you can't be emotional about, I don't know, all of our privacy rights being taken away, essentially, because that's the slippery slope we're on, then I don't know what
But
you
you
can
know,
get
Stephanie-
emotional about. Yeah.
You know, Stephanie, Julian Assange was the one who leaked it, okay? He leaked the document, and I love WikiLeaks. If the Russians, if you're listening,
Yeah, he had some different
please
thoughts this
leak
morning.
those Supreme Court documents.
So much leaking in our word. Trump rambles about bombshell Alito draft. Donnie, we have some thoughts for you, and mostly that you could. Oh my God, he will seriously never shut the. Okay.
Shut the up, Donnie.
Thank you. Okay. By the way, I just not in apropos of nothing, Carlos. Former Trump administration acting Homeland Security Chief Chad Wolf.
Chad.
That's the guy.
Chad.
Ladies definitely cover their drinks around. Chad's
Yeah.
here, everyone. Cover your drink.
Roofie.
He modified and delayed an intelligence report detailing interference in the 2020 election by Russia because, of course, he said it would hurt Trump because, of course, they tried to help Trump again in 2020. And even they couldn't help enough, that friggin' loser that lost by 7 million votes, right? But this is, of course, and we knew that. But, of course, they covered it up because they were like, oh, this will hurt Trump, to know that they were helping again after they installed him in 2016. And then he got 3 illegitimate picks after being illegitimately installed.
Yep.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
Okay. I need. You know what? I need another Elizabeth Warren.
Okay.
Thank you, Senator Warren. 19. Thanks so much.
Angry but committed. Understand this. Understand this. I have seen the world where abortion is illegal. And we are not going back. Not ever. No. So say it with me. We are not going back. We are not going back. Not ever. Not ever. Not ever. Not ever. Not ever. Not ever. Never.
That's awesome.
She probably needs a lozenge this morning.
Yeah, isn't she a little shrill? Isn't she a little too shrill? Isn't she a little too smart, like
that was
Hillary? She
amazing.
reminds me of Hillary. A little too shrill. A little too. Nah, I can't. Sprinkle my
amazing.
nose up. Nah, I don't like her tone of voice.
That's
I
exactly
love
why
blaming
voted for her
the
in
leak
primary.
now. Everything, the focus on the Republicans on the leak. It's like somebody opening the door to the vestibule and the priest is giving a boy candy. Like, how dare you invade the vestibule? It's against the sacrament of God.
Do more than
We have
candy.
privacy in here.
Never
or
mind,
I'm,
I was
or I'm
giving candy
molesting
to a
a
young
child.
boy for a favor.
giving more than candy.
Yeah, I cleaned it
That
up.
was
Oh,
his
thank
point.
you.
He cleaned it
Okay.
up for our
Thank
morning
you.
radio show, and then you dirtied it up again. You
Well,
took something beautiful and you made it dirty.
As I am
never
wont to do.
beautiful.
Is that a blow pop?
A night.
Huh?
Carlos Louise.
See, I went back to the dark side.
Yes, you
did.
did.
I
Went
Yes,
back
you-
to the dark side.
Okay, 18 minutes after the hour. This portion
May the
of
4th be with you.
Yes, it is May the 4th.